delicious Singapore hawker food in Kovan Food Centre. Welcome to another food adventure with Getting Lost. Today we are at Kovan 209 Food Centre to try these noodles. And some rice, a Malay rice. And more noodles. But we're not going to eat only noodles here. So, join me for our food adventure here at Kovan 209 Food Centre. And we're going to eat our way through this food centre. So, join me after the break. After the intro. After the music thing. How to get there? First of all, you need to get yourself to Kovan MRT station. And once you get there, you need to head towards exit C. So once you get out the gantry, which is here, and then the control station is right over the other side there. But we're going to go to exit C. So once you get the gantry, walk straight, then you turn right. Then walk along the corridor. Okay. So once you walk the corridor, you'll notice on your left here is actually a lift, which is for our friends. They can actually take this lift to go up to the surface, or head down, turn right. And when you turn right, you see an escalator right in front of you. This is where you're heading to. So go to the escalator and go all the way up to the top. Yes, all the way to the top. And once you reach the top, keep walking straight down that direction. And for those who actually took the lift earlier, you can actually come out from here. This is the lift exit. Go down the platform and then go straight that way, which will bring us to where we were just now. Okay, where we're walking. So so we were exiting the escalator over there. Then walk all the way here. Walk up this flight of stairs. And walk straight all the way to the direction, which will bring us to Kovan 209 Food Centre. So repeat again, you walk up the stairs, then walk straight. On your right is actually Heartland Mall, and directly in front of you now is Kovan 209 Food Centre, and this is the place where we're going to eat our food. Yes, so this is actually a food centre here, one level food centre, and also a market on the other side. And this is where we're going to eat our food. So, shall we start now? Let's just look around a bit before we start. And first up is this stall called A1 Kway Chap and Duck Rice. A1. So it should be good, right? Anyway, we have to eat it to try and to know. Anyway, I've noticed one thing really strange. Kway chap and duck rice, most of the time they sell it at the same store. So does that mean that they actually use the ingredients like the duck and the pork intestines and all the innards to actually flavor the soup, and they're actually using the same stock? Something to think about, isn't it? Anyway, so this is the kway chap. This kway chap itself cost me $4, which is a small portion, and the portion size itself is of course small. You get your usual items, which is your pork innards, your pork belly. You have one egg, and you also have your kway chap here, which is a bit nice and smooth, but quite ordinary, quite average. So is the kway chap itself. Taste-wise, it tastes okay, but nothing fantastic about the taste. But one thing surprising is when you eat it together with the chili sauce. Somehow the chili sauce gives it the little extra it needs, the little extra spiciness, sourness that totally complements the kway chap, and it goes very well together. And that's the missing element. So my suggestion is, if you want to eat kway chap, you can try this, but eat it with the chili sauce. Next up is this shop called Mince Fishball Noodles. and they sell a few items here, as you can see on top there. But what I'm going to try here is their mincemeat fishball noodles. And somehow for this type of shops, right, the shop that sells mincemeat noodles, there's always a queue. And the reason why I noticed is that they cook each dish individually as you order it. So that's why it takes so long, and there's always a queue because people are lining up to eat the dish. Anyway, this dish itself cost me $3.50. The noodle texture here is a bit soft, but somehow the soft texture of the noodles actually goes well for this dish itself. So the sauce, then you have the stewed mushroom, the noodles, all has the same texture and it goes very well together. Nothing very overpowering, but it definitely gives you a very comforting feel. A bit spicy, a bit savory, and there's the crunch of the fried pork lard. All very good. Then there's also what they call they have their own homemade fish cake, which is nice and soft. But overall, a very nice dish, especially the bowl of soup. Very nice, slightly peppery, with minced pork taste. And a very tasty noodle dish. A very comforting and tasty noodle dish. This next shop is actually a competitor to the previous shop, and the name of the shop is called Yam Fishball Mee, or Yam Teochew Fishball Mee. And as you can see, they sell similar items as the previous shop. And here, I also ordered the same thing, which is the mincemeat fishball mee, with the same type of noodles, which is mee pok, which is the flat egg noodles. This dish also cost me $3.50. Feels slightly different. The difference is the soup itself. The soup itself is not so, you can't actually see the mincemeat in the soup itself. And the noodles. The noodles here has a slightly more bite than the previous one. And the sauce itself is spicier. And I feel somehow the dish itself was a bit more watery. Somehow they didn't actually drain so much water when they actually cook the noodles. And when you eat this dish itself, you can actually taste more of the noodle taste than the sauce, whereas the previous one, the sauce itself covers everything, brings all the dish together with the sauce. But this one, not so much. You can actually taste more of the noodles and the sauce separately. But this is also a good tasty noodles. But if I were to compare, I would prefer the previous one more because it gives me a much more comforting feel than this one. But both stores have long queues. And next up, we're going to have some rice. And we're going to have some rice at this place called Hussain Muslim Food. They also sell noodles, the normal noodles you get at a Malay store, like mee siam, mee rebus, mee soto. But they also sell rice, rice like nasi lemak, and a few other variations. So here is what I ordered. This cost me $4. It's called nasi sambal goreng. So basically, you have your basic ingredients of nasi lemak, then you have extra ingredients like this here, which they call it sambal goreng. So it's tofu, long beans, and tempeh, which they cook together with sambal. And you also have this thing here, which is called a bergedil, which is a potato croquet. Then you have your normal ingredients with the rice, and then you also think you have a deep fried coconut in the middle there on the rice. And then your chicken wing, and you have some sambal. So overall, what I felt was the bergedil itself not very interesting because it's just potato inside. But the chicken wing, they deep fried very, very nicely, seasoned nicely and deep fried with a nice crispy batter, and also it's moist inside. The chili here is spicy and sweet, which is slightly different than what you normally get from a Malay store. But overall, a very interesting dish, and I quite like it. Quite nice and quite filling, and it's rice. And finally, we are at our last store, which is called Fatt Soon Kueh. And what they sell here, they sell soon kueh and other types of kueh. So on average, all the soon kueh cost you $1, but you have to buy them in a box, 3 in a box, so it's $3. And each box comes with 1 packet of chili and 1 packet of dark soya sauce, sweet dark soya sauce. Okay, so the first time I take away from that place, I actually bought their soon kueh. Let me just open it up. And this soon kueh itself, size-wise, is not the biggest, but it has a very nice, smooth and soft skin. And inside it, you have turnip, maybe you have a bit of dried shrimp, and you have wrapped around a smooth rice tapioca skin. The soon kueh does look nice, doesn't it? And it also tastes nice. The soon kueh itself, which is slightly different than other places, is once you bite into the soon kueh, there's a bit of a textural difference. They have turnip. Some turnips are a bit soft and some turnips are still crunchy, which gives it a very nice feel. And also inside there you also have some carrots and also the fungus, the ear fungus, which goes very well together. It's quite delicious, and especially if you put in the sauce and you decorate nicely, it does look very nice and goes very well together and very tasty and very delicious, and something that you should try. Just buy back a packet and try, and you won't regret it, which I did again. But this time I came earlier because I wanted to try this, the abacus seeds. Yes, this thing is called abacus seeds. It's made of yam, and nowadays it's very hard to find this item in Singapore. Very few places make it because I think they actually is quite difficult, quite labor intensive to make. So that's why you can hardly find it. This shop itself, the auntie told me that they usually sell out by 11 a.m. So if you want to eat this, you have to come earlier to buy. And this small little container here cost me also $3. But I've tasted it. The abacus seeds are just okay, nothing really fantastic about it, but something that I haven't eaten for a long time, so I decided to give it a try. And I also bought again soon kueh, but this one is with the chives inside. Yes, so basically this one is actually filled with chives, which tastes nice, but I still prefer the first one I bought earlier, the one with the turnip inside. That one is really, really special. The chives one is quite normal. And also one more thing, the skin here on the for the soon kueh is a bit delicate and tears easily, so be gentle. But overall, still a very good soon kueh store. You have to come here and try it. Delicious. Yes, and look at that. This all filled with chives. Yes, chives. Another way of eating your vegetables. Seasoned nicely, a bit oily, but still very delicious. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me for my food adventure here at Kovan Food Center. There are more foods to cover. I will cover that next week, so stay tuned for that episode coming up next week. And for those of you who haven't done so, please like, share and subscribe. If you have not done so, please do so. I would appreciate it. And the most important thing, the thing that you must do, you have to do, is to join me for my next food adventure. Until then, bye bye.